So, what are some ways that narcissistic people test your boundaries or just burst through your boundaries like a raging river through an old dam? That's what we're talking about today, y'all. Of course, if you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a diagnosed narcissist myself, here to give you the inside look at the mind of a narcissist, how narcissists think, how they might act, all the other good stuff, y'all. But let's hop right into it. I actually took the time and wrote down a list of a few different ways that some narcissists, not all, will test or push your boundaries. So before we hop into that, y'all, the reason narcissists hate boundaries is because boundaries mean that this is how narcissists view boundaries. They view your boundaries as you trying to control them. They think you setting a boundary or you saying the word no is you trying to control them. And when you control me, you make me feel smaller. It makes me feel rejected. So I hate when you set a boundary, because boundaries are telling me no. I hate the word no unless I'm using it. So keep that in mind when you're going through this list or you're dealing with a narcissist in your life and you start trying to set a boundary, why they react so negatively to your boundaries, why they get so flaming hot when you set a boundary or you have something to say or you go about it in a different way, shape, or form, right? These are things that you have to consider as you're moving forward and trying to understand that. Now that is out the way, ways that they violate your boundaries or test your boundaries. The first way that I have written down is, y'all, they will be late on purpose. This could happen when you're just getting to know them. When you're just getting to know this narcissistic person, they can absolutely be late on purpose in order to mess with you, in order to test to see how much they can get away with early on. Y'all, tardiness or just being prompt, being on time is respect. It's just respectful to show up on time. Now, can things happen that would result in you showing up late? Yeah, that's absolutely possible, right? But some narcissistic people will arrive late on purpose to mess with you in the beginning of the relationship or when y'all already established. Now, if it's in the beginning, it really is setting the standards for what's to come later on. So if you're dealing with a person, and they're consistently late, and they make excuses to make it seem like you're overreacting. Yeah, so what? I'm an hour and a half late. So did you eat? It's not like you're starving. You're not like you're waiting in a hot car for me. You were in a restaurant. There's people around. There's alcohol. What the hell are you talking about? Why are you making such a big deal out of me being an hour and a half late? Right? And if you keep allowing it, now they know what they can do later on. So if they're late out, I don't give a damn how much you like somebody. If they're always consistently late on purpose and messing with you, leave them alone. You're setting the standard. But then later on in the relationship, you'll try to get angry and upset because they're late. But they did it from the beginning. Like I said, this is one way that they will mess with you. This is one way that they will try to control you, is literally by doing exactly like this. Being late on purpose. Later on in the relationship, they'll show up late on purpose to events, to mess with you, to be disrespectful towards you, to make it seem like you don't matter or your feelings you just don't matter. Your feelings don't matter. You're too emotional. They don't care. They'll start showing up late on purpose, or they might not show up at all. They might just start ghosting you from the very beginning of the relationship. And again, if this is something that's being allowed, why would it stop later on? If you're allowing this now, you have to ask yourself, why would this stop later on? All right? Get it? Got it. Good. The next thing that I have written down, y'all, I got notes. You got to deal with. I don't have my teleprompter. My teleprompter is over there on a teleprompter. You got to bear with me right here. The next thing right here is doing the opposite of what you ask. Literally, simply put, they do the opposite of the thing that you're asking them to do. This can happen and this can show up in a lot of different ways. One thing that, like I said, one way that they'll do this is that they can absolutely doing parenting. When you especially narcissistic people, when you're trying to parent with them or co-parent with them or trying to be amicable with them, if you have a set game plan on how you want to rear your children or raise your children or whatever, they will do the opposite. You want to be you want to do a vegetarian, they're going to be on a carnivore diet. You want them to go up, they're going to go down. You want them to go left, they're going to go right. You don't want any type of, you don't like whole milk, you got raw milk. You see what I'm saying? It's so many different things. They're going to do the opposite of what you ask, literally just to mess with you, right? Just to test your boundaries, just to violate your boundaries, to see what they can get away with and to see how you react. If you let it go too much, especially in the beginning, this is how it's going to be. And I know for a lot of people, it's too late to try to change that now, right? You can try to set a boundary on your partner right now, and they're going to get angry and frustrated and might lose their damn mind on you, right? You don't tell them what to do. Roar! And you be like, wait, I just do what I ask. Why are you trying to do the exact opposite? Because they just want to mess with you, because they don't want to be told what to do. So they will absolutely, positively do the opposite of what you request. You know, this is not a long list, y'all. We're not going to be here all day. The next thing that I have written down is, drum roll please, not doing anything at all. Not only will some do the opposite of what you ask, some won't do anything at all just simply because you asked them. You ask them to do it, so they're not going to do it. You can ask them all you want to, but at the end of the day, they might not do it just because you ask them to do it. Narcissistic people, and I think most of y'all can agree with this, do not like being told what to do. I feel like that's the theme of this. I feel like that's the theme of this video. They don't like being told what to do. Got it? Get it? Good. So if I don't like being told what to do, you got to think about it like that. If I don't like what you're telling me what to do, if I don't like how this is going, how things are matriculated or manifesting, you got to understand that I'm going to get pissed off and just not do it just for general purposes. Now, could I just not do it? Could I forget? Could that narcissistic person just forget to do it? Yeah, they could forget. But if it's repetitive, if it's consistently and constantly happening, you got to know that this person is doing this on purpose now. You got to realize that now. You got to see it now. You got to see it for what it is. You got to see it for how it is. You got to see it for where it is. You know what I mean? This is what you have. This is what you're going to be dealing with. This is how they're going to act. This is how they're going to operate. This is what narcissistic people typically are. This is who they are. They don't like being told what to do. So sometimes they will just not do it to mess with you or to make you do it by yourself. One way, like there's a term, y'all might have heard this term before, y'all. It's called weaponized incompetence. They'll pretend they'll pretend to not know how to do something or not do it at all because they'll claim that you do it better. You just do it better. You just start the dishwasher better. You just wash the dishes better. You just clean the yard better. You just clean the toilet better. You just start the microwave better. You just take care of the kids better. You just change diapers better. I don't know how to change a diaper. I don't know how to read the instructions on the laundry machine. I don't know how to read the instructions on the ice box. You know what I'm saying? They'll pretend to not know. Some narcissists are passive-aggressive cowards, y'all. Not everybody's going to be actively aggressive towards you and just say, hell no, I ain't doing it. Some of them will pretend. They'll use the weaponized incompetence to literally mess with you. They absolutely will. This is something that you have to consider and think about as you're going on too. Okay? Is this the last one? Oh, yeah. So the next way to test your boundaries, it's not the last one. I got 2 more. The next one is getting angry. Sometimes they will violate or test your boundaries just by getting pissed off, by raging out on you, by literally just losing their minds and going crazy and just messing with you. This is how some of them will operate. This is how some of them will behave. They literally will lose their damn minds and just start going about it like this. They will literally get pissed off, lose their minds, and become activated in this way. They will just get angry. You try to set a boundary, they'll just rage out. And then sometimes you, because out of fear or just out of compliance or just out of not wanting to deal with it, you will remove that boundary, right? You'll let that boundary go. You'll release that boundary. You'll just let it go. You'll do this type of stuff right here. This is what ends up happening. I'm serious. So this is the type of stuff that you might have to deal with as well. Like they might just get angry. Anger is a deterrent. They use their anger as a deterrent. You don't want to argue. You don't want to fuss. You don't want to fight. You don't want to be yelled at or hit or whatever. So you just don't bring it up. You don't set that boundary because now you know if you do, you'll get angry. They'll get angry at you. And the last one I have, y'all, I told y'all I like to keep these short and sweet. And the podcast is coming soon too, y'all. Be ready for that. The next one is, the last one is calling you controlling. First off, y'all, setting a boundary is not you being controlling. It is controlling what comes in and out of your life. It is controlling how you want to be treated. Yeah, but it is not controlling the other person. Boundaries are a fence that you build around your own mental health, your own physical health, your own well-being. You don't build fences on anybody else's property, right? That's what narcissists do. Narcissists build fences on your life to isolate you away from people. Boundaries are fences that you build so you can control what comes in and out of your life and how you want to be treated and how you want to be thought of and things of that nature. So that's what boundaries are for. They will call your boundaries controlling because they don't like being told what to do. They want you to think that your boundaries, that you're being manipulative. They'll call you a narcissist for setting a boundary. Wow, you gonna set a boundary on me? Wow, you really are a narcissist, aren't you? Wow, I didn't think you were a narcissist, but now first I didn't believe that you were a narcissist, but now I know. Wow. You see how insane that sounds, y'all? You see how literally insane that sounds? They will call you controlling for setting a simple boundary. You're not controlling, you're protecting your peace, you're protecting yourself. Anyways, y'all, if this video brought you some clarity, if it brought you some peace, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, y'all, let me know what y'all think about the video. The new edits. I work with my man Tom right now. Tom is handling all the video editing. Y'all been leaving a lot of comments. He reads the comments. He's grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for him. So shout out to my editor Tom with the edits and whatnot. He's gonna be helping me edit the podcast too. So let me know what y'all think. Shout out to my man Tom. Y'all hit the subscribe button. And as always, let the Healness out. Peace.